How are you doing this evening? I am Eve with the Baby's Booty, and I do see I have sound for a change, so hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear. But we are here tonight, and we are going to talk about sublimation. I decided to do sublimation for a couple of different reasons. Number one, to show an example of a project that I did in the past and how it's changed. So I'd like to update you guys on that and give you a heads up. Also, we are going to work on a project that's kind of like a keepsake. So this project kind of struck me as pretty cool. And when I saw it, I thought it was, going to be super neat. And I'm pretty sure you guys will absolutely love this project because for, for the sake of argument, um, hopefully it won't buffer too much. It's telling me that it's buffering. So let me know how the signal is. But at any rate, you, you guys, for the sake of argument, this particular um, product is going to end up where it will um, make money. You'll make money off of it, but it's a memorable. It depends on how you do the project. Sorry, it depends on how you do the project. And I'm going to let you guys know that kind of like working on doing this project, sublimation, and getting things together for this. I've been working on it for the past 2 days, trying to get everything together. Um, and it kind of got me in my feelings tonight. So if I seem a little bit, kind of like not as upbeat, I'm in my feelings. So I'm just letting you know that now, because there's a couple of different directions you can take this particular project. Okay. So we're going to get into sublimation tonight. I forgot to turn the heat press on, so I definitely need to do that. Also, we're going to look into Creative Fabrica to help us out for those who may need help with it. You'll see how that is. We also have a couple of websites that we'll be visiting, and all of that I will link as we go in the description box below, as well as throw in the chat. All right. So thank you for joining us this evening. We're doing sublimation tonight, but we also delve into embroidery, vinyl, rhinestones, I mean, a whole host of things that we work on here on this channel. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat box and we'll get around to those questions. Also, we are a group here. I don't know if you've noticed the subscription count on the channel. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are knocking on the door at 40K, which is absolutely amazing. Each one of you are totally awesome. And I appreciate the support of the folks who come on a regular basis. All right. So we'll acknowledge you guys here in a moment. But I want to point out that we are a group. It's the Hoop group. It's available on Facebook. We have a group. If you would like to join, just click or do a search for a Hoop group. Also, we have a Hoop group that's on this website that's listed here at the bottom of the page, thebabiesbooty.com. We have a forums of sort there. You can join up there. And also here on YouTube, we have memberships here on YouTube that fully support the channel. And we definitely appreciate any and all support that you guys give to this channel. It helps us get all of these cool little doodads and stuff that we like to play with here on this channel, from designs to blanks to rhinestones, the whole nine. And it's totally awesome. And it's all for you guys' benefit, because we definitely like to show you how all of this works. Well, one of the cool things about this channel is we like to celebrate the awesome things that happen to you in your life when it comes to increasing your business. I know a lot of times your family and friends may not quite understand your excitement over getting a new Cricut machine or getting a new embroidery machine. But here, we like to celebrate with you with the little purple bell. For those of you who are members here on this channel, you have access to your own personal bell. You can just shoot me, click the link, I'm sorry, on my website. In the middle of the page, there's a little bell. You can click that and request a bell. And as soon as we get the batch order in, we send them out. Also, you have an emoji purple bell, right? So you can ring the purple bell right along with me in the emojis and at home. So definitely check that out. You've got special emojis that you can ring. And again, we appreciate your membership here on this channel. Now, without going too far off the beaten path, I want to thank each and every one of you all for joining us. And one of the things I like to do at the beginning of the show is say thank you to the folks who are joining us live. Without you all, we wouldn't have a channel, right? Well, fortunately, all 40K of you don't show up in the chat and say hi. Otherwise, I would never be able to keep up with it. But it's all right. We have quite a few that come on a regular basis, and I'm going to take a moment and say hi to everyone this evening. First off in the room tonight was Miss Scooby-Doo. Miss Scooby-Doo, thank you for joining us this evening. And Miss Scooby-Doo, thank you very much for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Miss Robin Bryan is here. Miss Bickup is here. Hey, I hope things are going well with you as well. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Always thank you. Shay Johnson. Hey, Shay, how are you? Thank you for joining us this evening. Are you new? I don't remember your name. Lori Campbell, hello, how are you? Inspiration Creations, hello. Miss Gail, Miss Lila Nelson is here. Both of you are YouTube Hoop Group members, and I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. So Crafty is here. You're under the weather. Oh, no, that second vaccine got a hold to you. Hopefully, it'll just breeze over because I hear some people do get issues with that second one, so I hope you feel better. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. We definitely appreciate it. Tamika Favors, hello, how are you? Welcome. Miss Jackie from Maryland, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Simone, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. Miss Wendy G from Arizona, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Angela, hello, welcome. Louisiana in the house, she says. We appreciate you joining us, and we thank you for being here for your first time, I think, because I haven't seen your name before. So thank you for joining us. Renee, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Angelia Baker says, hi, Eve in the Hoop Group. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Miss 143, welcome, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member here on our channel. The Best Uni, hello. How are you? G. Murray. And Miss Joanna, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Miss or G Murray is here from the Midwest. We appreciate it. Miss Lady D in the house. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Isabel Morgan, welcome. Good evening to you as well. Michelle Anderson, hello to you as well. Gail Beard. Miss Eartha Lewis from Port Allen, Louisiana. Always a pleasure. Marianne Ciovaco, welcome. I hope I said that right, Miss Marianne. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And I also apologize in advance if I butcher names. I tend to do that. Miss Debbie D. Hey, Debbie D. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. We have Nina here. Felicia is here. Marge Campbell is here. Gail McNair from Tucson, Arizona. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us. And Miss Zaranda, hello, my dear. How are you? She said hubby is ringing the purple bell for help. I don't think that's what the purple bell was for. Tell Papa he gonna have to get permission the next time. But I'm glad he's able to ask for help. Willie Roseman, hello. Lakeisha, welcome. Lakeisha Monique, welcome. That's beautiful. Linda Owens, she says, my son and I received our 8-in-1 heat press yesterday for sublimation. So congratulations to you and your 8-in-1 heat press. Woo! Yes. Congratulations, Linda, on your new baby. We appreciate you letting us know that. And you guys have fun. This show tonight is definitely going to help you all out as well. Miss Andrea Ross is here. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. We really appreciate it. Miss Aretha Lakeisha again says hi, everyone. Miss Shayna Krause, hey, how are y'all? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Miss Dorothy, welcome. You're new as well. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for saying hi. I appreciate it. Knick-Knack Nurse, Karen Murray, Shonda Coleman, hello. No worries. Yes, you are here on time tonight. We're just getting started. Ms. Lila Nelson says hi to Miss Andrea. Zoronda, I'm not sure either. That is out of my hands totally. Definitely check in with your YouTube account. Now, if you have two YouTube accounts and you log in with one but don't log in with the other, sometimes that can cause a confusion as well. So whichever account it is that you sign up with the memberships, that's the one that will have your emojis. If you have a second one, then it doesn't transfer over. YouTube is pretty stringent about that. So Miss Carmen Alvarado, welcome and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. She says she got a new Cricut heat press. Yay! Don't crack open that baby. Woo! Congratulations on your heat press. Crack it open. We are going to be sublimating tonight. Dolores, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being here. Madeline, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Ray Williams, thank you for joining us and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. Dorothy from Shreveport, Louisiana, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So too we begin embroidery. Welcome and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I really appreciate it. Thank you as well for joining us. Joan Wesley, hello, how are you? Patricia Garza from Robstown, Texas, welcome. Sandra, welcome. Linda Owens says she also got a Epson 4105 printer and have a 7720 on the way. Where in the world did you find a 7720? That is like liquid gold in this area. People cannot find a 7720. So congratulations on your two printers. Woo, yes. Definitely got to celebrate two printer babies coming. You going to have both of them celebration? Choices, choices. Let's see. Miss Rebecca says, first time caught you live. Well, thank you for joining us, Rebecca Forrester. Watch you all the time. I just bought a Cricut. It's not out of the box yet, but I would love to have a red line like you. Red lines are there. They're still waiting now. They have a 12 needle and a 15 needle. So the 12 needle is even more affordable than the 15 needle. But that's goals that we work towards. But meanwhile, we definitely want to celebrate your new Cricut. Woo! Yes! Congratulations! The Cricut is a step forward, so we can make money with that Cricut and then add to it as we go along. Don't worry about it. In time, in time. Marge Campbell says the ET 15,000 is ordered. Got notice that it was available to order first thing this morning and ordered ink from Cosmos Ink. They have great ink. So awesome sauce. I'm looking forward to you getting your baby so we can get that bell ringing. Deborah Harris Neal, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Latanya Wade Willis, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. Let's see. Joanna says, got my Epson Echo Tank 15,000 yesterday. Just waiting for the ink to set it up. Woo, yes! Congratulations. Holler. That's what's up. EJ's daughter, good evening to you as well. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. First, last, always a pleasure to have you here. So excited to catch you live. Love you too. Always see you here. So thanks for joining us again this evening. And congratulations to all y'all with the new babies. That's what's up. Those are good babies y'all got too. Look here. Lakeisha says got a new Cricut mini press and the Cricut mug press will be delivered in a couple of days. Well, congratulations for now on the Cricut mini press. And then right after that, Renee Boyd says she just unboxed her new Cricut mug press and did her first project. How did you like it? Did it turn out the way you thought it would? Either way, congratulations. Joanna says it was a miracle found it in the, that was a miracle. It was a huge miracle. Found it in the local Staples and it was the last one. Yes, because you cannot find those at all. Shayna says, interested in learning about sublimation, not for selling, just for personal. We sure will. Sublimation, I think, is one of those projects that I feel benefits the creator more so than the end user. So there's so many avenues where you can use it on a personal basis and do really awesome projects just for yourself. So sublimation is one of those that because at some point in time, you're like, okay, I done embroidered hats, I done embroidered my boots, I done embroidered a blanket. I mean, what else is it to embroider? But with sublimation, the sky is the limit. Okay, so we definitely will be going over some things that you can do that are personal. So till we begin embroidery. Oh, Shirley Stewart. Okay, no worries, no worries. I appreciate you reminding me. Joanna says, order the Cosmos ink waiting on it to arrive. Yas, yas. Designs by Deshelle. Hey, Designs by Deshelle. Welcome. Got the Cricut mug press and finally set up my sublimation printer. Well, congratulations to you on your mug press and printer. Yes. Lakeisha says, thanks to all and congratulations to all on your new toys for your business and personal life. Yes. And Karen says her mug press was the last one at Joann's. That's awesome. Renee said the mug came out well. It was fun. That's what's up. And Mina Rowe, welcome from Canada. Thank you for joining us this evening. So the project that we're going to work on tonight is, like I said, for me, it kind of got me in my feelings just a little bit. It really did. Because with this specific project, you can actually use it as not just something really awesome, a really nice gift, like anniversary gift. You can use it as a pending birth gift. You can use it as a I love you gift. You can use it for your grandkids just to give them a nice reminder of you and how much you love them. But it also can be a memorial gift. And that's the spin that I was shooting for or aiming for with this specific project. And I went on Facebook and put the word out on Facebook to let folks know that I was looking at doing a special memorial project. And if they had a loved one that had passed away recently, to let me know that I would make a project for them free. I was going to do 3 examples, but I only had one person respond. Well, no, actually it was 2. But I had a stipulation in order to do the project. And unfortunately, those stipulations weren't met. And I think because of that stipulation, that's why not very many people responded to my request. And we'll go into that here in a moment. Hi, Diane McCoy from Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome. And Shirley Scott, hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So before we get into the project that I'm looking at doing, I want to give you guys who are just starting into sublimation, or even those who have been sublimating for a while, I want to give you a little bit of a FYI, and keep your eye out for this. Sometime back, I did a video on sublimation because one of the things that people tend to, I don't want to say complain about, but they tend to focus on a little bit too much, in my opinion, especially if you're trying to make money. You're trying to make money and you're trying to use this as a sublimation as a business thing. They want to find the cheapest way to do sublimation and make money off of it. I understand that. I really do, especially being that the last few months, especially since the start of COVID, business has been kind of like trending downward for a lot of different folks, and money is tight in businesses. So they're trying to, and a lot of folks ended up out of work. So they were moving towards working from home and starting their own businesses from home to make money off of it. Okay. And that's great. That's a really good thing. But trying to find the cheapest way to do something doesn't always work out to your benefit. Case in point, one of the biggest things that folks tend to complain about is that they can't go pick up a mug from Dollar Tree and be able to sublimate on a mug from Dollar Tree. Yeah, well, the mug isn't coated in such a way so as to allow you to sublimate on the surface of a basic ceramic mug. You would need to have a sublimatable mug. There are some things that you can get from Dollar Tree, which I didn't bring any up here with, no, I didn't bring any up here with me right now, but there's like microfiber towels. There's a long fluffy looking towel that Dollar Tree advertises. It's for, wiping the surface of your car, like a light buff of the car. And it's a pretty long towel, nice towel. It's white, and you can sublimate easily on it because it's made out of 100% polyester. There are also washcloths at Dollar Tree that you can use 100% polyester. You shouldn't have any issues with that. Walmart, you can go get t-shirts from Walmart that are, 80% polyester. You can sublimate on those. So in those types of situations, finding the cheapest way to do stuff just to have quick access to it, to run out, go grab it, sublimate on it and sell it, make money off of it, can be quite appealing. There are other shortcuts that folks tend to use to make sublimatable items. Like, for instance, I should have brought it in here, but there's glass cutting boards that you can purchase from off of dyetrends.com and sublimate, and they sublimate beautifully. They also have glass pictures, like a pane of glass that you can sublimate. But a lot of times people are like, they cost too much, I'll make my own. And they'll take Oracal 651 and put the white vinyl on the back and sublimate it and do it that way. And I tried it and it worked. It actually worked beautifully. I took a square cutting board, glass from Dollar Tree. I put the not HTV, but I put the 651, which is adhesive vinyl, and it's a permanent adhesive vinyl. And I put that on the back, and I sublimated a picture of my grandmother. And it turned out absolutely gorgeous. But I'm not sure how long ago that was. I really need to look that up and see how long ago it was. But this is what has happened since. I don't know how well you can see that because it's an abstract picture of her anyway. So the abstract look is still there, but it has since become a little blurry. It's like muted. So this, I don't know a better way to put it, but it's like it just fuzzed, and it's not sharp and clear like it was when I first did it. So the 651 wasn't the best alternative to use, especially if this was something that really, really, really meant a lot to me as a customer and I paid for this. If I were to see this now, some months later or a year later, and I paid you decent for this, I would be upset. I'd call you up and be like, look, this, or even if, in a lot of instances a year later, you're like, okay, what did you wash it with? And all that other jazz. But in this instance, I would be upset because it doesn't look like it did when I first did the project. So keep that in mind when you're trying to find a shortcut. A lot of times the best way is to just go ahead and buy the correct item for the job. All right. You don't want to have this type of thing come back and blow up in your face with a customer because the quality wasn't the best when all you had to do was just order the right thing, the right tool for the right job, so to speak. So just keep that in mind. I wish I had a picture of the original that I could show you, but right now I don't. So just, I wanted to share that because we tend to find shortcuts. And again, I totally understand because I am one of those who will try and make something work anyway. So just definitely keep that in mind. Let's see. You got to spend money to make money. Mitch Marge says that is absolutely correct. Sublimation on a cell phone cover can definitely be done. And I have a link in the description below for Conde Systems, which their website is dyetrends.com. And as I mentioned, that is in the description below the video. If you want to go to Dye Trends, let them know that the Baby's Booty sent you, and they have special offers that they'll give you. But they have cell phone covers for most of the popular cell phones that are out there. But at the end of the day, yes, you can find items out and about all over that are made out of a polyester type material that you can sublimate on if you just want to give it a shot and see what would work. The most important thing is to make sure that it's flat first and foremost, because usually our heat presses, whether it's like for instance, here's a keychain that hopefully we'll be able to get to doing one of them this evening. Here's a little keychain. It's about, what's that, 3 inches or so. The Cricut Mini, you can press this with the little Cricut Mini. You don't have to have, you know, a big expensive heat press. This is like 2¼ inches, and that's definitely about the same size as the Cricut Mini. It will fit this. So you can, now the Cricut Mini may not get as hot as we would like for it to sublimate extremely crisp, but who knows? We'll try it tonight and see how it looks if we can get to this project on time, and work it with the heat press. So as long as it's something flat, you can work with it. And they have tons of blanks on there that you can use to make gifts. Here's another one that would fit with the Cricut Mini. This is a necklace pendant, and it's mother of pearl type material, but it is coated for sublimation. It has the coating that you need. Let's pull this out so that you can see it. It's in the bag. You can see it's definitely, you know, big enough. Whoops, not on me on this. It's big enough for, or small enough rather, for the Cricut Mini, and you can sublimate on both sides. So these are things that we can, well, we won't be able to get to this one with that project that we're working on tonight, but there's other things you definitely can use and sublimate. And all of these blanks are at dietrends.com, and they stand behind their products so that you don't wind up with, you know, this type of a catastrophe that'll come back and have folks upset with you. All right, because you want to make sure it's the right thing. Hello, Dab Prince, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So the one that we're looking at for this evening, let me get you guys over and see about getting the web page pulled up so that you can see it. The one that we're looking at doing this evening is found here. So you can go to, and it's in the description below, but you can go to Creative Fabrica. And I've mentioned Creative Fabrica to you guys before because they have zillions of things that you can use to have a sublimation project completed. Like, for instance, here's some gorgeous fonts that are available that you can look into. Then you also have images like this one, Jungle Gold, that is absolutely beautiful with the animals and such. Then you have some things that are already made, like here's a farmhouse bundle. You don't have to, you know, try and figure out anything. It's already done for you. It's just tons and tons of things that you can use here on this website and create a gorgeous project to use with sublimation. However, the one that we're going to look at, let me make sure I do the thing right. Music template, music player template, that's what it was. Music player template. Now, I'm sure several of you have seen these before because we all tend to hang in a lot of the same groups on Facebook. But this one got kind of popular, but we're going to put a spin on this tonight. It's not going to be exactly the same. But the music player template, let's pull up this one and show you what this looks like. So here's the square pre-made so that you can put the picture in, size it where you need it to be. There's a square, there's a circle, there's a rounded square. They also have player controls that you can put at the bottom. So what people use this for is they'll put their favorite songs. Like, for instance, if I did like this one here with the image of the couple, I could put a picture of me and my husband, and then put a, this is a Spotify link. We're not going to do Spotify, but this is a Spotify link here where a person can scan it with their cell phone. Spotify will open up and it will play the couple's favorite song. Like, I could put our song on there. But what I found personally, the other reason why we're changing this project up a little bit is because not everybody has Spotify, especially if you're my age and older. I just turned 45. So, you know, our age tends to not be as into, you know, the latest stuff that these kids are into. Now, don't take offense. If you have Spotify, that's great. I tried Spotify. Me and Spotify didn't get along. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I'm done. So I stuck with Amazon. So I listened to my music on Amazon. But I also use YouTube. So we're going to give it a little bit of a twist, and we're going to go with YouTube tonight to make it easy for whomever it is that you give this to. The only thing they'll need to know is how to open up the barcode reader on their phone and be able to pull up the song or whatever it is that they're trying to get. So this is similar to the project that we're going to work on tonight. Let's pull up this other so that you can see another image of how someone did it. This one is your song. Put the artist name and makes it look like a music player. This is a template that could easily go on a keychain in a small, format. It also can be done on a mug, for instance, for those who are into doing their mugs and such. It also can be done on a glass pane. So if you have a glass pane, which I have a blank one, but couldn't find the right project, and we'll get into that in a minute as well. But if you had a glass pane, you could do that and prop it up in the living room or something somewhere. It's just all kinds of ways you could spin this project. But the way we're going to do this project is smidge different, okay? But meanwhile, I needed to get these templates and let you see what this looks like. And the one that I'm actually going to use more than anything, I think, was this one, because it's very simple, it's clean cut, there wasn't a whole lot to it, and this will allow me to have the look to go with what I need, because this is a music player. I didn't want it to look like a music player. I needed it to look like exactly what it was going to be intended for. And so I have a Creative Fabrica subscription. So because my subscription is active, all I have to do is click download, and it will drop down and download this specific player I extracted. And so now we can use this template, and she has it here. All right. So being that we have the template, I'm going to close this out for right now. And then we're going to switch back over to regular camera view so that I can double check our chat box, because I couldn't see it while I was working with the website. And we're going to go ahead and get started with Photoshop so that I can show you how we're going to do that. So really quick, I'm going to go back. You're welcome, Miss Beckham, and make sure I didn't. Gail McNair says, when you make a printer into a sublimation printer, can you still use it for a regular printer? May not be a good idea due to cost on the ink. I'm going to say no, just as Scooby-Doo mentioned. I just saw that you mentioned it, so thank you, Miss Scooby-Doo. You could, but it's definitely not recommended. You really don't want to mix up your inks. You really don't, because there's really no real way to get rid of every single drop of ink in your printer, and you don't want to ruin your printer either. So there's a chance that you can do that, draining all of the ink out of it. Marie says, I got a new Epson ET 2720 Cricut mug cup, Cricut maker, and the Cricut press, all size, and ready for the lesson. Love you. Well, thank you for letting us know. Love you too. Congratulations. You got a lot of babies. You got a lot of babies. That's what's up. Harmony Ling said, I didn't like Spotify either. Yeah, me and Spotify did not get along at all. So yes, definitely. Designs by Deshelle, it's okay. You can let them know after the fact, and they'll link you over into the same offers that our group gets. It can be done on the backside if I'm understanding correctly. All right, so the way I chose to do this project is going to involve a couple of websites, okay? So, like I said, deal with me, because this one was a bit of a toughie for me. So what my goal to do with you guys tonight was to create a keychain, or whatever you chose to do eventually with this project. But in my instance, I was going to do this long keychain, but I may do the rectangle one because it's more common. But I have both just in case, I decide to go the other route. But here's the other. Now this particular keychain, it's longer. So I don't know that the mini would fit all across. I think it will though, but this one's a little bit longer and it's aluminum on the back. You can't sublimate the back, but you can sublimate the front. All right, so this is a one-sided keychain, and I'm pretty sure they have these on Dytrans as well, but I know they have longer skinny keychains just like this. So yes, those are available, and I'm pretty sure that's what I have linked in the description below. So the way I saw the project, and I'm going to walk you guys through these steps, so please bear with me on this particular project. I don't know if you can hear what plays on my desktop or not. So we'll see if it does because I don't have my speakers on. But what I did was I was trying to find a video with my grandfather's voice in it. And the reason, let me back up a little bit. What I put out on Facebook was if you had a family member that you lost recently, and you wanted to capture their voice, I asked if anyone had a voicemail from someone who had just passed away. And what my goal is to capture their voice and do a QR code on the item to allow them to scan the code at any time and be able to hear their loved one's voice. All right, so that was the spin that my goal was to take, and I put it out there for other folks, right? Well, when I didn't get very, much of a helpful response, or a response that I could use. Let me not say helpful because all responses were helpful, but one that I could use. I said, okay, well, I do for myself. And that opened a bit of a Pandora's box a little bit because it's like now I'm digging through memories of my grandparents and, kind of getting frustrated because I didn't have them in a special place where it was easily accessible. And then coming across other memories that I hadn't seen in a while. So it kind of had me, like really in my feelings the last day. And so today was kind of a rough day for a couple of different reasons, but we're going to trooper through this. So let me get you switched over to my desktop, and here you see, let me move this so that I can tell what's going on. So I have my grandfather's picture here, whom I lost not too terribly long ago. I'm not good with dates and I'm not good with loss, so I don't remember exactly when he passed. But that's my grandfather. And we're going to start by not with his picture because I already have his picture. But what I did end up doing was I went to Photoshop, all right, and I'm sorry, Premiere Pro, and I would open it up, but Premiere Pro is so heavy on memory, so I did it ahead of time, and then I found a video that my daughter just so happened to film one day. I had no idea he was in it, and I was just going through videos and came across this one, and it was just all of a 2-second blip of him saying, "What you got there, girl?" And it was something I hadn't heard in a while. It wasn't, like I love you, or it wasn't directed to me. It was directed to her, but it was just hearing him clearly and hearing him say something that I've heard him say many times before. It just, kind of like got to me. So I went ahead and spliced out that little 2-second clip, and I turned it into a little thing, and I can't hear it. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but because I don't know if it pulls in from the computer and you could hear it. But if not, I apologize. But it's just that little quick little thing. So what I'm going to do with this quick little blip is we are going to go to a website called, and give me a minute because I can't remember what it was, but I'm going to Google it and pull it up that way. So turn a sound file into an image. Converting now, this is it. So it's convert.ing-now.com, and I'm going to save this, I'll copy it, and I'm going to put it in the description right now. Actually, I'm going to drop it in the chat box first, and then I'm going to put it in the description of the video so that you will have it in the description really quick, because y'all know I'm bad about not remembering to put stuff into the description box. Convert sound wave to an image, to a, let's say, sound wave image, and we're going to put that there. So that's in the chat, in the description below, so you can come back to the video, go to the description and see that. And I also put it in the chat box. All right, so this is what you see when you come to the website. Generate a waveform image from an audio file. So let's click on try it. And what it's going to say is upload your file. And you can either click this button and open up a box that will open up your files. Or if you know where the file is, which I do, it's on my desktop. You can also come here, grab the file and drag it and drop it onto this little up arrow. So we're gonna, this is the file here beside his picture, and I'm gonna click on it and drag it down and drop it on that dot. And because it's such a quick little file, it didn't take any time, as you see, to go ahead and it can go ahead and do the file. So cool thing is you have options with this specific, and it's all on the website. You don't have to download any programs, none of that. This is all done online. Okay, you just drag your file, drop it online, that file is there, and it automatically converts it. So here are your options for your waveform image, the image of your sound waves of the voice. First of all, select the size, foreground, background colors of the waveform. For a transparent background, leave the background color blank. Okay, so we want it blank because all I want it. Now, keep in mind too, this for us is a sublimation project, but you can also very simply do this as a vinyl project as well. All right, but we're talking sublimation. We don't want to have to weed anything, right? So here is saying we're going to leave it transparent in the background. The foreground color, I don't want a red waveform. I want mine to be black, or you know what, let's go with purple, favorite color. We're going to go with purple. And then the waveform size. When it comes to sublimation, you really want to have the highest quality images that you can get your hands on whenever you sublimate an image. Otherwise, it will turn out kind of blurry, like the picture that I showed you earlier on the glass cutting plate. So we're going to go with the highest size image, the 3600 by 1200. And then wallpaper options, we don't care about the wallpaper, but you can play with that if you decide to do it later, because even if you did do a cool wallpaper, it will sublimate. All right, it will sublimate for you, but I don't want any wallpaper, so we're not going to do that. And then I'm just going to go okay. After it does that, it's going to change his voice into a wave form. So let's scroll down past the ads, because of course it's online, so they have to have your ads. And notice, like I said, it's a little 2-second click, and it says right mouse click the image or link and select save to download. All right, so here's the waveform. Is in, and again he says what you got there, girl, and it's right here. So this is the high quality image file that we want. Okay, so I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to save image as, and I'm going to put it on the desktop with the other parts to the file. And actually I'm gonna name this What You Got There, Girl. And then I'm gonna save it so that I know exactly what this sound wave says, because I named it that. All right. And so this part of the thing is done. All right. So if you're planning on making these and, making a little money off of them, I would say bookmark it so that you can easily get back to it. And like I said, it's convert.ing-now.com. Okay. It was free. You saw how quick it was. So now that we have his image, just like in the image right here below the snowman, you see this is a sound image. We have it now. So we have our sound image, and we're going to go now to generate a way for us to pull up that sound file. So you have the image of the sound file, but now what we want is something on the keychain or on the mug or whatever you decide to make that will allow people to scan it, and then it plays it back to you right then. That's what we want. So in order to do that, I need for his little sound clip, his single sound clip, to exist somewhere on the web. Okay. So I'm going to try to pull up my drive, and there we go. Hopefully it'll pull up the right one, and if not, nope, it didn't. So I'm going to switch to my other account, and I have a folder here on my Google Drive. So I have a Google Drive. You have Google Drive, you have OneDrive, which is through Microsoft. You also have your iCloud. I think you can access iCloud. Any one of those online storage things where you can give someone a link and they can access, that's the type website you need that file to live on. Okay, so audio files, I'm gonna double click there, and I already dropped his sound there. Okay, so here's his sound bite, that exact one that I just dropped onto the website. It's right here. Now, one of the things you definitely want to do is you want to make sure that it can be shared. So see right here that plus sign, and it says share. You want to click there, and right here you can share. I could share with anybody if I wanted to, but I don't want it to be just anyone. What I want is if someone has access to that link, they can hear this file. Otherwise, you can't just go online and search for my file, for my grandfather's voice or his file or anything. You have to have the link. So right here, you want to change to anyone with the link. Change to anyone with the link. I love Google Drive for this because it's so easy to do. So you click change to anyone with the link. And now anyone that has access to this link can hear his voice. All right. So I did copy link and done. So as far as getting access to this file, this is it. So if I want to make a memorable keychain for myself or my cousin, for my aunts, for my dad, it doesn't matter. They all have access to this now once I give them the next part to it, if I make them one of these. So now what we need to do is give them something to scan. We don't want the link because you can't use your phone just to point at the link and it opens up. We need it to be easier than that. So we need a QR code. So let's go to QR code generator. And as you see, I've already been searching for that today. Can't spell briefly. QR code generator. So I just go to the main one, the QR code generator.com, QR code whatnot generator. Actually, there were two. I just noticed that. Let's go back. Here's one. Create your free QR codes. And then this is a different one. This one is QR code generator. This one is the dash QR code. So I'm not sure which one. We'll go with the first one and see what this is the one I was at earlier. Okay, so QR dash code dash generator. And again, I'm going to put this in the chat really quick while I'm at it. Would you save them to your drive if you were selling them too? I would say yes. And the reason why I would say yes is because you want them to have access to it. Now, one thing's for certain, you will 9 times out of 10 be getting permission from whomever is giving you the file, because they have to give you the person's voice in order to put it on your personal drive. But as long as you have it selected where anyone with the link can view, you shouldn't have any backlash from this at all, for it to go sideways. So you should be okay. Now what we're going to do is create, no, let's name it QR code generator. And there, the link is in the description now for the QR code generator as well. So I just did that. So now what we want is to create this QR code that we're going to put, and we need the graphic for that too. We already have his voice waveform image graphic. Now we need this QR code. So QR code generator, create your QR code for free. And what we're going to do is there's a couple of options. You can go URL or you can go video. I'm going to click URL. And then right here it says enter your website, text, or drop a file here. Now remember, I already did copy audio file when I went to share, and it gave me the option to get the link. All right, so I already did copy for the link. Now what I'm going to do is just come here and Control V on my keyboard, or I can right click and do paste. All right, so there is the link to that file. Now I have a QR code. I can save this one, or these folks are pretty cool. You can actually change up what it looks like. You can add a frame to it if you want to. I don't, because I just need just the code. But one thing I'm going to point out really quick, so that you can see what I'm talking about here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so to make it easier for you to see. Let's close this out. So when you are on this website, look at this QR code. This QR code, if you look really, really closely, you'll see that it is a bunch of squares. All right, blocks that are connected. So if you were doing this as an SVG, now I know we're talking about sublimation, but just to throw this in there, because I know some of you would like to use it as SVG as well, and that's not an issue. But here's a tip. If you're doing this as an SVG, notice that like here, this little square is blocked in, this little square is blocked in, this little square is blocked in. You're going to have to weed all of that. And y'all know how I am about weed. The less I got to weed, the better. All right. So let's show you an alternative to this. If you go to, I think it's shape and color, notice now you can change it to separate blocks, or you can change it to dots, or you can change it to dots and lines. So I'm going to grab dots and lines. I already signed up. Thing can go away. Oh, you know what? I need to log in. Hold on. Let me log in so that you can see that, because there we go. All right. So here's one that I made earlier, but we're going to do another so that you can see it. So we want to do, I'm going to do website next. And now here's the website and QR code. There's this QR code. I redid it, so it's a different one. And now you can choose what it looks like. If you have an account, it's a free account. So when I log in, now it's letting me change. So now look at how these dots and lines, now the only thing you'll have to weed is this clear area around these boxes. That's it. You don't have to figure out, make sure you get it right, because if you don't weed with this one, if you don't weed out every single box like you're supposed to, the QR code will not work. It will not work. So if you want to make 100% sure that your stuff is going to work, then go with an easier QR code. As a matter of fact, even with this one, those thin lines in between these squares should weed pretty cleanly unless it's little teeny. Then you definitely want to go with something much similar, which is the dots and dashes or just the dots. But the dots may prove to be a little difficult to weed as well. All right. So with this particular, even you guys here online now, if you were to use your phone, point it at this QR code, it will pull up and you will hear his voice. All right. So this is the QR code that I want to go with. I don't want a frame, so I'm gonna take that frame off. And the colors, you can choose what colors you want, like right here. The color that I had in my thing was purple, but I don't remember exactly what purple it was, so I'm just going to stick with black. And then I don't want any logos. You can do logos with it. I don't want that. If you need to do a short URL, which is a link that you can share with other people who may not know how to use the barcode reader, you can use the short URL, but that defeats the purpose of the project we're doing. So we're just going to use the QR code and that's it. So now we can just hit download. And once you hit download, it's going to download the QR code right here, high resolution, large size that you can use in your project. All right, so let's drop that down. We're going to close out our QR code. We're going to close out the Google Drives. And now what I'm going to do is open up my photo editor, which normally I use Photoshop. All right, so let's go to Photoshop. Do I want to go to Photoshop? I want to show you how to do it in. I was thinking about showing you how to do it in Publisher. Let's do Publisher, because that used to be the way I would do it. Actually, let me change the page size, because again, I'm working with 17 by 11, which is entirely too big, but I'm going to try and do several projects in one when I print this out. Okay, so here is Microsoft Publisher to try and make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, let's zoom in some. That was too much. And I'm going to go to the top of the page. Not going to worry about margins. Now, the first keychain is this long one that I want to do, right? And the reason why I'm choosing the long one is because the sound wave of his voice, I want it to fit nice and long, and I don't want it to be too small. So in measuring this, this keychain is 3 inches long by 1 inch high. So I don't have very much room to work with. So what I'm going to do is come here to, now I'm using Microsoft Publisher because a lot of you guys may be familiar with Publisher, and to show you, you can use Publisher. Although I prefer Photoshop because I know my colors are going to come out right, but I'm going to show you how you can do definitely with Publisher. So I'm going to pick a shape, and I'm going to grab a square rectangle, and we're going to create a rectangle. Now, down in the lower part of the screen, down here, you can see the size of what this is. All right, so this right now is 3.5 by 0.68. I need it to be 1 inch. So let's make that a 1. And then right here, I said it was 3 inches. So let's make that a 3. And there I have my template that I created myself. All right, and we know there's a little hole in the upper right hand corner. If you want it to be specific, we can go ahead and put a little hole in the right hand corner if you needed it to. I'm going to take away the shape outline only because it can be frustrating if you forget to do it. And so now what I need to do is start building this keychain. So I'm going to go ahead actually and put that circle, whoops, in the upper right hand corner, just so that we have a point of reference, and you know what we're working with. All right, so there's the little circle for the hole in the upper part of the keychain. All right, so we are going to insert, and I'm going to put a picture. And the picture that I'm going to put is his picture first. Okay, so here's his picture here, and I may end up cropping it some. So I'm going to bring it down a good bit, and I'm actually going to crop this so that it's more of a square. And now I'm going to resize it down to fit in this keychain right here on the end of the keychain, so that when the loop is hanging here, he's right here on the end of the keychain. So now I'm going to leave the background blue for the time being, just so that I can see my boundaries easily without having to worry about a black outline. So now we're going to insert another picture. And this time I'm going to go to the desktop, and I'm going to grab his wave form, which is right here. What you got there, girl? And I'm going to insert it. Remember, I said I wanted it to be purple. So here I'm going to resize this down, and I'm going to put it right there, I think. I may move it up just a little bit because I want his QR code to be where I can see it. Actually, you know what? I should have made that black, but for right now, I'm not going to worry. Well, can I make this? I think I can make this black and white. Hold on. Change picture, recolor. More variations. Let's see. Yep, I can change it to black. Sweet. All right, so here is this, and I'm also going to crop this because this is just entirely too much blank space, and Microsoft Publisher sometimes doesn't play well with other images. So there we go. There's his voice sound. And now I'm going to, even though this is going to be really, really small, I'm going to insert text right up under this. And I need my text to be black. I'm going to use Arial bold. Arial black is what it's called. And I'm going to say, whoops, that's way too big. We're going to drop this down. Ooh, this is going to be small. And I'm going to center, and I'm going to expand this so that I can make sure I see everything. And you know what else would have been cool? Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. I'm going to look and see when he said that. I could probably even put the date on there somewhere. Didn't think of that. Let's see. What's this one? Nope, that ain't it. And that's definitely not it. So it must have been this one. 5 minutes and 11 seconds. So I'm going to look at the properties on this file, and it says, nope, the date is wrong. So I'll have to look that up later. But you could even put the date that the person said it. You could put his name, all of that jazz. There's many, many ways you can do it. Also, if you wanted to, as I was showing you with Creative Fabrica, where is it? Music Player by Natasha. You could even go so far as to add these little icons and stuff to your music player or your voice player, however you want to do it. Okay, so there's his sound bite, the image of his voice. There's what he said. And then we can come and insert pictures, and I can grab the QR code and put that on here as well. And there I have, I'll have his voice where I can scan it. I wish it would come in transparent. Now, I don't know if this is too small. I hadn't tried that yet, but we'll see how it goes and see if we can get it to work. But there's his sound, there's his QR code, and there's his picture. or I could put his picture. If I had a double-sided keychain, I could put it on the other side. Let's see what all of this looks like when we do one of these size keychains before we print this out. So this particular one is 1 and a little over 1.5 wide, and we're looking at 2 1/4 long. Okay, so I'm going to insert another shape, another square, and this one we said was going to be 2 1/4, 2.25 up and down, and this one is 1.5. It was just over 1.5, but we're going to do 1.5. All right, and again, I'm going to take off the outline. I don't want an outline around it. So here is the other keychain size. So now I'm going to copy this picture, bring it here, put it on this keychain, making sure it's centered. And then I'm going to copy his voice. Oh, it's mad at me because I'm doing too much. Here's his voice, and I'm going to actually make it even smaller so that it'll fit on this keychain. I'm probably going to end up redoing this voice file image because I did it purple, but I needed it to be black. It should have been black. Would have looked better black. So there's his voice, and there's what he said. You act. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Undo. Bring to front so that it'll lay where it's supposed to. See, that waveform should be as dark as the words, but it's not. And then here's the QR code right there, which I need to bring to the front as well. Oh, whoops, I took the other one. Hold on. All right, so 2 different keychains, 2 different ways to do it. This one, actually, this keychain, being that it's front and back, we actually could have just put his picture on the back side and some more information about him on the back side. It's entirely up to you. The other cool thing is, if this is a much longer clip, like for instance, I do have another video of him talking to the grandkids, even though you can hear the kids and some other stuff, which is why I didn't choose this particular clip. But you could copy and paste just that small waveform of something, a little piece of something that he said, but then put the whole file on Google Drive, and then when they scan it, it actually plays all of what the person said. It's entirely up to you. The other thing that you could do with this easily is you could turn this into a for instance, if there's someone that's about to have a baby, so to speak. So let's go back to Creative Fabrica. This is music player. So let's say pregnancy. See if we have a nice picture. It's a lot of things. Let's go illustrations. All right, so for instance, you could do this one, and you could get, like, for instance, the one that's hidden, or this one down at the bottom. Let's extract this, close that out, and let's go view. Ooh, child, my dark background is making it where we can't see this stuff. So maybe this one. Let's copy this, and I'm going to put it on my desktop so that I know where it is. And we can turn this into a keychain. For instance, let's copy and paste and bring this over and take Oh, well, crap. Then select, deselect. We can take this and we can change the fill to, let's go pink of some sort. Yes, so thank you. It was a horrible shade of pink. Okay, there's pink. Um, you can insert picture, desktop. Where are you? Because I already put this keychain, that size is already set. You don't have to worry about not being able to, or changing the size or anything like that. Here is, where did you go? Oh, I put it on desktop, didn't I? Moved it. Here she is. So we can put her right here. You could get the sound file, the baby's heartbeat, put the baby's heartbeat there, and then you can, you know, put Evelyn Grace Smith, due date, whatever, and then the QR code down here for a, you know, like you could even give that as a gift to the grandmother and she doesn't know there's a baby or something like that. You know what I'm saying? There's ways you can do this, or put the date of the baby's birth and weight and all that. You can turn it into that. You could turn this into a picture of your spouse, record his or her voice saying I love you and your name, and then put, you know, you see what I'm saying? There's just a huge spin that you could do with this particular project to earn income. And you see how just so simple this is. It's not fancy at all. There's no fluff. I don't have a bunch of craziness on here or whatever. You could, like with this one, I could so drag this down and I could bring in, especially being that I got it off of the website. I could bring in, let's say this image, even though it says SVG. I'm going to crop this because I don't need all that extra space up there. And then I could bring this down, resize it, and then put it under and make it look like a music player, so to speak. So let's zoom back in. And I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna grab this. And we're gonna move this down out of the way. And boom, there you have, you know, it looks more like a player. But instead of it being a generic sound wave under the music player, it's actually his voice, the sound wave of his voice. So there's another way you can go about all of this. But we'll print this one out and this one out. And, oh yeah, I took this one. I need to copy. Actually, you know what? Let's bring that in. All right. And then I'm going to copy this and paste it and put it. Come on, bro. Put it up here. And there I have a keychain. Now for me, I don't want the, I may go ahead and do the outline, actually, now that I think about it, because, but let's do the skinniest outline I can get, because I want to take the fill out. And I'm going to take the dot away as well. I probably should have put his name and his date and stuff like that there, but for the time being, I'm not going to. So let's do outline here, and we're going to drop the outline to a skinny outline, and then we're going to empty this because I don't want his background blue, or I could have made it purple since that's my favorite color, but the QR code background is not transparent, so it would have stood out. And then there you have examples of what you can do. And now let's print this out. Hopefully my printer is going to behave itself. And I'm going to, you know what? I didn't even turn on the heat press. So let's switch you back to, I think it's this one. Yep, it is. Okay, let's switch you back to get the heat press turned on. I'm going to do, is this one plugged in? Let me see if this heat press is plugged in. Doesn't look like it. The cord is right there. Nope, let's plug this one in. I'm gonna do the little heat press because it's right here. And I already have the camera on it. So it's gonna be the noisy heat press. But it's right here and we don't have to go anywhere. And then we'll print this out and see what it looks like. So I'm going to go back to comments and read because I was kind of like zoned in and didn't see what type of printer do I have. Tamika Favors, I have the Epson 7710. I converted the 7710 printer, which is almost the exact same thing as the 7720. It's just I have one paper tray, whereas the 7720 has two paper trays. And my one paper tray also have a rear feeder, but I think the 7720 has a rear feeder too. Thank you. Let's see. Can you take a voice from a CD? Sharon DeBerry. The answer to that question is going to be a little bit difficult. You could if you had a laptop or a computer that could read the CD, and you could get the information off of that CD. So like for instance, on my laptop, I don't have a disk drive on this laptop. My old one, I do. So I could get a CD that somebody might have recorded their voice on or had their voice recorded and put it in that and lift it off of that to put on the computer. Yes, and then you can take that file, edit it as you need to, with what I use. Oh my goodness, I use WavePad to edit just sound files. But if it has video and voice, then I use Premiere Pro and extract the voice, the audio from the video and use it that way. And edit it down to the size that I need it to be in order to save it on the internet. Let's see. I missed the post. I had my dad's last voicemail. Now I posted that on my personal Facebook page, but if you do have his last voicemail, email it to yourself. And once you because your voicemail, if you have Android, now there is a way to do it with Apple as well, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with Apple at all. But if you have Android, there is a way to save a voicemail and send it to yourself. And once you get that voicemail, then you can edit it out of your download it from your email and then edit it and use it as this project. So yes, thank you, Latanya. Candy A, yeah, it's a trip. It was difficult going through all of those videos, y'all. It was like you can't put a price on memories and emotions that you feel because I wasn't expecting that. I mean, it could be menopause, like we done talked about this menopause thing, and it turns into a big crybaby sometimes. But I it's been a while since I heard his voice like that. Harmony, yes. It's that I was there just before he passed, so I didn't get to hear his last breath, but it was close enough. Hey, Mary Brown, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. We appreciate you being here. So your drive review was okay, so we answered that one. Strong words from a strong person. Keep up the faith. Doing good. Moving to next stages of my life. Business is progressing. Getting new equipment. Not direct the garment. Is that what you're saying? DTG coming soon? Nice. Nice. Hey, Sheila Cushionberry. Hi, Sheila Cushionberry. Welcome. Welcome. Um, oh, you did hear it? Okay, cool. I didn't know you could hear it. That's what's up. Um, let's see. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing any questions. Make sure I'm not missing. Um, wasn't trying to blow your mind first, last, but definitely, I think when I saw this, my imagination went all kind of ways with how something so simple as a voice, like for instance, another thought process was if there is a family member that's ill, um, you know, maybe the prognosis isn't the best, they could take the time to record certain things, um, and have it made as a memento, like a message for each child, or just a general message, of encouragement, or something simple. Like one of my favorite sound files that I have is one of my husband reading a specific scripture that we both enjoy. And so, that's something I would treasure and like to retain, and have at my ready. If it's right now, it's saved on my phone, so I know where to go. I can touch it. I can listen to it anytime. But what if my phone gets corrupted? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't think I have it backed up anywhere now that I'm mad at myself just sitting here thinking about it. So that's something that I definitely need to transfer to a safe location and then create something like this. And I know that anytime I need that encouragement, that reminder of that specific moment and why he read that to me, I would have access to it. So just little things, or like I even considered making one for my grandbaby, because he has his own iPad. Both of them do, and so as a 5-year old, they can work anything with these darn iPads and stuff. So I'm sure he would know how to scan something with his iPad and then pull it up, and he could hear me tell him how much I love him anytime he wants to, if he wants to. You know what I'm saying? So just little stuff like that. This could actually blow up into all kinds of proportion. I'm sure, like, for instance, what idea would you have to use a person's voice for that you could put on a keychain and then retain it or give it as a gift to someone? There's even some silly stuff that I could think of that a person could have, like if you wanted to have one and say, this is my absolute favorite song in the world, and it's on a keychain, and when someone scans it, it's Rickroll. They get Rickrolled. That would be hilarious, because I love the Rickroll song. But just little stuff. What idea would you come up with that you would use this type of project for? Um, Drop your comments or your suggestion in the comments below. I would love to know. Great mother or father's gift with his voice. Yes, Carmen Alvarado, you already mentioned one. Um, I found a video of the grandbaby, and he was walking and cracking up the whole way, and I don't think he was 8 months, maybe, and it was hilarious. That was a really good memory that I had, overnight, because I was up till 4:30 this morning, looking at pictures and videos and memories and such. And so you come across stuff, and um, it's just awesome. Hey, Sean A, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Where did I go? I just scrolled all past stuff. Oh, there it is. Okay. This stands as a reminder to get those pics and voice clips of our loved ones while we can. Yes, take advantage of the wonderful technology options. I wish these were available when mine were babies. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I think that was the other thing that kind of got to me a little bit during this whole process as well, because my other grandmother passed a lot. Well, so both my grandmothers are now deceased. I don't have any grandparents alive at the moment, or I don't have any grandparents alive. So one grandmother passed, I think it was like in '07, and then the other one passed, not too terribly long ago, about 8 years ago now, if I'm not mistaken. But my mother's mother, I have video of her, or not video, but I have a recording of her telling me a recipe, some recipes, and I have no clue where they are, and that kind of like got to me as well because I was mad at myself. I remember it, remember having it, I just don't know where it is. So that's something else that I was like, just really frustrated with that part. But my cousin, in discussing this project with a family member, one of my cousins says, "Well, I have a voicemail with our grandmother on it, um, my father's mother, and so I'm hoping to get a copy of that at some point in time." But yes, please, if you do have loved ones that you would like, this is a really awesome gift. Um, as Latanya says, all the sound bites that you can do is just crazy if you stop and think about it. How do you store your embroidery hoops? To lighten things up and let me get my printer ready, I would like to show y'all a project that my husband um, did for me and was able to get for me because I was complaining about, you know, here in my new studio where I moved 8 months ago now is a sunroom. So all of these windows, I have windows like chair rail height up, and they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a door, 7 windows. So I don't have very much wall space in here, except for there's some blank wall space there, but it's a concrete wall because this, of course, used to be the outside of the house. Well, the concrete wall, it's kind of hard to put nails in a wall. There are anchors for concrete, but I didn't want to go through all of that. So I was, kind of griping about where I was going to do my hoops and stuff. And so he found this thing for me, and I've been hanging my hoops on this. It's kind of like a pegboard, but it also has grid wall on it as well. And I've done part of it, and he was really excited for me to show y'all what this looked like when I was on and working on it with the last live, but I didn't get to. So here is how I'm storing the hoops. Like, here are my mighty hoops, and then I'm not finished with the opposite end, but there are some other mighty hoops on this end, and I have to order special hooks for this because regular grid wall hooks won't fit on this. It has to be a special type of hook. Like, this is a regular grid wall hook and it's not secured on there properly. So that's, something I got to work on or whatever. But I finally found who makes the grid wall hooks, and so hopefully I can get those ordered. And then here are my large cones of thread up top, and the smaller cones I have down below. And I have them, I started separating them by color, but what my goal eventually is, and I have all the boxes, I just haven't doctored them up yet, but I have them in this box by color. And somewhat frustratingly enough, this box actually had pegs. This is a thread box from Hobby Lobby, but it had pegs in it for you to put spools of thread, but they were spaced for really small spools, so my embroidery spools didn't fit. So I had to get a Dremel and cut all the pegs out of the bottom of it to make it where I could fit all my threads. So, but this is how now I store my embroidery hoops. Before, I had a really large pegboard wall. And of course, like I mentioned, I don't have the wall space for that near my machines. So he got me that, and that's where I keep my stuff now. So it's pretty neat. But that's how I store my embroidery hoops for the time being. And Scooby-Doo mentioned she has space under her embroidery machine, and I have space under mine, even though right now I have something in the way. So I'm going to actually put something there so that I can put the hoops that I don't use too frequently under the machine. At least that's the plan. First, last, sorry, but can I ask an embroidery question? Of course you can. What stabilizer would you recommend for a lightweight sheer fabric? Lightweight sheer fabric, I would say mesh. The cutaway mesh, I think, would be best. But of course, give it a shot and see if that works. But the cutaway mesh should be fine. We all need more sleep, Sheila Cushionberry. Good night, Shirley Scott. For I hate I missed that to tell you good night. Dorothy Rucker using a Sawgrass SG400 printer, looking for another one. If you're used to Sawgrass and you already have materials and such for Sawgrass, that could be the route to go. Is just go with the Sawgrass again, being that you're already used to it. Where did we go? Oh, there we go. Epson F570 Scooby-Doo said that's a nice printer. That is a nice printer. Y'all are some strong folks that can be there with folks as they pass. I'm thinking to do a Mother's Day mug for friends whose mom passed a year ago. Simone, that would be an excellent opportunity to use the voice graphic on the mug. That would be cool too. Sheila Cushberry, if you have Verizon, you can have everything on your phone backed up to the cloud. I do have Verizon. Okay. Voicemails too? I didn't know that. You can even have your parents or special person say something and record it. This way you don't have to search for remembrances. You're right. I was searching because I don't have them here to record again. So, but definitely if you haven't already and you have someone, I don't care how old or young they are, try and get memories now while you can. Because you never know from one day to the next, as COVID has definitely taught us. Tamika Favors, I was just talking to my sister about turning my patio into my studio. How large is your studio? Ooh, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 by 20? 10 by 20-ish? Oh, he didn't make it. Miss Bickham, he didn't make it. He got it for me. It was from a store getting rid of stuff, and he was able to score that for me, which was totally awesome. I documented my grandmother's couple of weeks in hospice, and a few months after she passed, everything was deleted from my SD card in my phone. Oh my gosh. I was so upset. I don't know how it happened. And that's why I think this is cool if you can upload stuff to a Google Drive or cloud storage, and that way it's there. You can share that file with family and friends who would appreciate it, and it won't get deleted because all it is a link for them to listen to it. And if they scan that QR code in their phone, they can just hear it. It'll play for them. So that's actually pretty cool. Thank you. I'll let him know. Tell MacGyver he did well. How do you get publisher? Publisher, you can order, you can go to Microsoft.com and you can actually subscribe. Just like Adobe Photoshop and the Premiere, I subscribe to that. So I pay monthly for the updated, versions of it. Whenever they have updates, I have access because I pay monthly. So you can do subscription or you can just purchase it. Yeah, it was a good score. I was super excited. You got yours also from a store that was closing. Yes, definitely, definitely. I lost stuff following the representative's direction when changing. Yeah, see, and that's why I don't play that. I put my stuff on Google Drive, and that way I don't have to fight nobody because I can't see my stuff anymore. But I just didn't know about voicemails. I used to know how to save voicemails, but I've lost being able to do that because I've forgotten. So let's switch you guys over to our heat press cam that is now heating up. And again, we have Haipu ink that helps us out with Sublimation ink, which is really awesome sauce of them. And I'm going to put y'all, one of these days, I'm going to switch my back side of my printer and do 8 by 10, 8 by 11 and stop wasting this darn 17 by 11 paper. Let's see. Print one-sided, printer properties. Let's do printer properties. Oh, it's been a while since I used Publisher. So let's print that. Hopefully that'll print properly. And we need, oh, let me put my thread back. We need butcher paper. I'm moving, putting my thread back on the rack. Paper size, done. Okay. And butcher paper. I don't know how well this is going to sublimate because I didn't have my normal settings. So here's my butcher paper. Right there. And I'm going to make sure that, nope, that's what I thought. Let's crank this down a smidge. Nope. It's too low. Whoops. Okay, I think that'll work. All right, so now I'm going to oh no, that looks tragic. I need to, we're going to answer a couple more questions while I do a print head cleaning because it doesn't, actually I'll show you. It doesn't look very good. It didn't print out crisp like I prefer, and you see the lines in the black, so that black definitely needs to be print head clean. It's been a couple of days since I printed with it, so that's my fault definitely. And I should have done my regular print head nozzle print head cleaning. I should have used my regular printing settings, which I usually do. Premium presentation. So let's switch out away from the heat press because who wants to sit and look at that? We don't want to sit, just look at the heat press. So at any rate, with this specific project, as I mentioned before, sublimation is awesome. Oh, we also have a ornament as well. Ornament would be really nice because with the ornament, most people like to be reminded of their family memories and stuff around holiday time, or just to have an ornament. Because especially with this one, it's super pretty. I would use it year round. It wouldn't be no specific thing with that. Getting low on sub ink and was waiting to switch. Yes, you can. You can add the Cosmos ink on top of the other. It should not hurt anything. I never did embroidery. That's my next thing. What do you recommend? Dorothy Rucker asks. And hey, Yvonne Hudson, how are you from California? Welcome. If you wanted to get into embroidery, what I would suggest is take a look at your budget on expanding. So right now, unfortunately, embroidery machines they've skyrocketed, and it's hard to find them at the price that I first got into the market with. So the machine that I used to have that was like $300 is now right at about $400, and it's the 4x4 embroidery machine. So you're welcome. So the 4x4 embroidery machine, about $400 or so, brand new at Walmart, will get you in the door. And if you want to just try it out to see if it's something you'll like, then I would suggest doing the 4x4 embroidery machine. Now, if you have it in your budget and you want to try out embroidery, I would definitely suggest finding the 5x7 embroidery machine instead. Now that's going to set you back about $1,000 nowadays. Used to be about 600, now it's 1,000. But it is very well worth it. If you can swing that budget instead, even just starting out, I would say go that route because the resale value of it is still going to be close to what you paid for it. So definitely shoot for 5x7 if you can. Right? If you can't, the 4x4 still works. The 4x4 is still good. I have tons of videos on the 4x4 that can show you how to make money off of the 4x4 as you build up your income and then save for the larger embroidery machines. Now, if your budget has about $6,000, or even from six down, but six you can start with the multi-needle embroidery machine. The red line is about 6.5, something along those lines once you add taxes and shipping and such. So the red line is an awesome machine, multi-needle machine, especially if you're trying to get into this for business. Business, you need an industrial machine in my ever so humble opinion, because this machine is built to embroider and not stop. You know, this isn't a toy. This is definitely something that will plow through your embroidery jobs. It comes with double the hoops so that while one job is stitching out, you can go ahead and have your next job prepared and hooped so that you can just pull that off the machine, put that one right on immediately and hit the go button and have that one going while you take that one off and then get the next one ready. That machine is made for a business. So yes, I would say you go that route if you're trying to start a business and you have the income for it. If you don't have the $6,000 without breaking the bank, taking out a high interest loan or something crazy like that, stick with the 5x7. You can make money with that as well. Okay. Can you do hats? Yes, with that machine, most definitely you can do hats. This machine is perfect for doing hats. I have done even structured caps with that machine without issues. Uh, So I've done the print head. Now it's going to print out, and I'm going to check and see if it prints properly. And then we can print out. Yes, that looks much better. That looks a lot better. The printout is very, very clean. So we're going to go ahead and reprint my pawpaw's picture. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to change the quality because I'm not used to the non-good quality version. So while we're sitting here, I'm going to change the quality on that. You're welcome, Dorothy Rucker. And the industrial came with the cap driver. Yeah, I know, Miss Shayna. I'm sorry. It does come with a cap driver and two cap hoops as well. So while one hoop is stitching, you have a second backup hoop to go ahead and get your machine up and going as soon as the first one comes off. So let's go presentation mat. Did that, and we'll go okay. I don't like that gray soundbite. I don't think that's going to look as well as I want it to, but we shall see. Are you gonna give me a fit? All right. Tell it to print. Did I tell it to print to the right thing? Yes, I did. Boom. There we go. All right. And what did I? Oh, here's my tape. So I'm going to use heat transfer tape, which you can get off of Amazon. That's in the store below. Come on, thing. Can't you just print? There we go. All right. So let that print out. And then there we go there. Sorry. Trying to make sure everything prints like it's supposed to. There we go. Yes, 2 cap hoops, yes. Your machines were working at the same time today. I know that's right. Latanya says, I had my 6 4x4 hoops prepped with tiles to embroider while you use. Yes, 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 yes. See, that's what you have to. Hey, Michelle Flowers, how are you? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And Harmony Lynn, you know I agree about the commercial machine and can't live without it in the world of embroidery. And there are several commercial versions out there. All right. The reason why I choose to promote much better. Oh my gosh, that looks much better. That's much, 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 much better. Much better. And I'm interested. It's interesting how this one turned out lighter than that one. I don't know how that happened, but I'm not going to complain. But the reason why Redline, first of all, the affordability for me was amazing. Because when I was looking at getting a 10 needle and the 10 needle was 12,000, and Redline was like, hey, give us a look. And ours is 7,000 ish. Like, okay, big difference. And it comes with twice as much of the stuff. So twice the hoops, twice the cap driver, not driver, but the cap hoop. So it was a no-brainer in my opinion. Whereas the 10 needle didn't have all of that. But there are other industrial machines out there. Like Melco is who Miss Harmony has. Melco, I believe, do they come with twice the hoops? But a lot of the other industrial machines come with twice the hoops. Um, Wait a minute, what? Shayna says haggled to have the dealer throw in the cap driver for free, but I wasn't in the hats back then. My fault. Dealer selling for the cap driver for 300. I'm like, what that needle you got for 300? It's like, girl, what kind of deal you getting going on around here? That's funny. I'm cutting these out with these little itty bitty baby scissors, so it's taking me forever. You know, why am I cutting that one out? I don't know anybody with pregnancy stuff. All right, now I'm going to also test this out before I press this, because I want to make sure that the QR code, which I'm pretty sure it will, but I want to be 100% sure that it will work with it being that small on this little keychain. Pretty sure it will. But I will say this, weeding something this teeny is not going to be beneficial. So sublimation would be your way to go. All right, so here is the cutout for the keychain. And as you see, it's very small for one keychain, the cutout for the other keychain. So here is the first keychain, and I'm going to put this. All I'm doing is just laying it on face down, and I did reverse. You have to print it out in the reverse for sublimation. All right, and I'm just centering it on the keychain. All right, so once it's centered on the keychain, I'm just going to tape it to make sure that it does not shift while it is on the heat press, because if it shifts, I'll be real sad. So there's my heat tape, taping it on. Let's do heat tape on the other side. All right. And the wind is blowing, so I think another storm is brewing. It's been storming the last couple of days. All right, so we have heat tape on our image, and I'm going to press it with the back down and the image is on top. Okay, face down on top, and we're going to press it just like that. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get this one before we press. Yes, I did premium presentation matte is what I used. My mail coat came with 3 mighty hoops, an extra large standard hoop, and 1 cap jar and 2 cap frames. Awesome! Mail 16 needle was 28,000 with an upgrade and add-on 13 years ago. Not sure the price now. Yikes. And here is the other keychain image, and we're just going to do the same thing. Lay this on top. I said I was going to scan this before I pressed it, didn't I? I forgot. I already taped the other one down, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to roll with it, y'all. We're going to roll with it because I got faith. It's going to work. All right. And most of your keychains are 30 seconds, not 30 seconds, sorry, 60 seconds. So we're going to cook this for 60 seconds. It's taped down. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be pretty. We just need it to adhere to the surface. And so now we can switch you over to the heat press cam. And like I said, this is the aluminum side that we don't sublimate. We want to sublimate the top, and it's face down, or face up rather, with the image face down. And here's the other. I'm going to set that right beside it. I'm going to put some parchment paper on top. And swing this over. And although my press says 385, it's no big deal. 60 seconds on the timer, which the timer on that is screwy. OMG. It is saying 60 seconds, but you know. So let's see. I'm gonna need gloves because these are gonna be hot when they come off the press. So if you have files with voices, or if you go ahead and record some voices of family, friends, loved ones. Matter of fact, my bestie, I'm gonna have to call her and tell her something I need her to say so that I can put it on a keychain, because otherwise it just would not be right. I stopped it. The timer on this thing is horrible. It's like 30, that's like 60 seconds is technically 40 seconds. I don't know why, but I'm gonna let it sit just a few minutes more. But definitely want to get some more keychains done. And these are just really nice projects to do that will leave a lasting impression for years to come. And here we go. Here's the square one. And what I'm going to do, my desks are made out of glass. So I'm just going to let these sit on that glass table, because it'll conduct the heat away from this a lot better. And then I'm going to swing this back over for right now, because I got a couple other projects I want to do before we end the show tonight, as we are rolling up on our 11 o'clock hour. And we can go ahead and get things wrapped up. But I hope that this specific project serves you well. As I've mentioned in the past, you guys know that if I come across something that seems to be a good potential moneymaker, especially with the way life is trending and things are trending, with folks losing folks left and right. Y'all, it was over 500,000 here in the U.S. alone that passed away. So not saying that we should be out here just capitalizing on folks, you know, misery or grief, but it is an option, and it can bring some people a lot of solace and comfort just hearing the voice again, you know, their loved one's voice. Just, it can be comforting. So why not be that source of comfort? Why not? You have the power to be able to do that for them, as long as they have at least the video audible where you can hear the person's voice. Voicemails, a recording, just a voice recording Any one of those three you can use to capture the voice. Now, I'm going to give a warning, a very strong warning. Whenever the person sends you something, ask them to get you a copy, not the original. Ask for the copy of whatever it is. Ask them, please be careful to send a copy, or they can upload it to Google Drive themselves and send you the link. That will work as well, as long as you have access to the sound itself, and not delete the original. You definitely don't want to do that. So get a copy from the people, and then you can use it to create your file. So let's go ahead. Um, Thank you, Sharon. Hey, Janet McKinney, how are you? Sorry, Harmony. I apologize. It's just the memory things. Yeah, like the memory animals. Oh my gosh, the memory animals are definitely a trip. Do I like my swing heat press better than the clam? I'm gonna say no. Um, I don't like it better. I like them both for their separate reasons. The clamshell is bigger. Um, so for shirts and stuff like that, I love the clamshell. It doesn't cause me any problems. The swing away is much, much smaller and easier to get to. And the swing away for little things like this, yes, I'm definitely okay with it. If I had a preference, I would do the clamshell over the swing away. But I do like the fact that the the swing away comes straight down and gives even pressure from the top. I do love that over the clamshell. So I mean, there's caveats to both, but I love both of my heat presses. So here we go. I took the tape off of one side, and here is, and with that writing that small, the writing did not come out as clean as I would have liked for it to, but the image turned out absolutely beautiful. And there's his voice, QR code. So let's try it out and see if it works. Here is, I have on my phone an app called QR code scanner right there. So let's scan that. Open that up, and it brings up, the camera. So I'm just going to focus this into the camera. Hopefully I can get it to do right with me not looking at it. Let's see. There we go. And then it says open browser. And let's see.
What you got there, girl?
And it worked. That is awesome.
What you got there, girl?
So now all I have to do is scan that little bitty code, and I can hear his voice anytime I want to. And here is the other keychain, front and back. I can come back and press something on the back as well. I'll have to figure out what I want, maybe a bigger picture of him. Now this picture was a little bit darker than the other, so I don't know how his image is going to turn out. Oh, it turns out just as good too. And I think I'm going to get a better image of the waveform, the sound wave, and turn it black instead of the gray. Because again, I'm not a fan of that wave, the sound wave of his voice being that light and stuff. So there's the keychain. And I told you I didn't like this is why I don't like the black outline. For keychains. Notice up here in the upper corner on the other side over there, see that line? It's because when I trimmed the paper, I didn't trim the line all the way, and it's so hard to see. Sometimes you can get just a little sliver and not cut it clean, that little sliver, and it will transfer to your image, but it's okay. At the end of the day, I have his picture, I have a link to his voice. I'm good, so there we go. Now, again, there are other options out there other than Google Drive, but Google Drive does work. And as you saw, you just tell it open in browser, and there you go. All right. So thank y'all very, very much. I appreciate y'all joining me. I'm glad that I decided to show this to you guys for many different reasons. For one, to be able to have this memory now and be able to carry it with me is beyond words. So, and we'll most likely make several of these for family members. But thank y'all so very much for joining me this evening. You could have been elsewhere, but you chose to be here with us this evening. So I definitely appreciate it. Next week, we will not have a show because it is a holiday that most people will be spending time with their families. And I'm going to take some downtime and do some rearranging around here. So I'm excited about that. And we'll be back for the 1st of May, the next Sunday in, I'm sorry, April. The next Sunday in April. I skipped the whole month, y'all. Ooh. The next Sunday following the second Sunday in April, and we'll have us a really nice show. Most likely a pretty significant embroidery project. That's the plan, anyway. So I appreciate y'all joining us, and I look forward to seeing you not next Sunday, but the following Sunday. But meanwhile, I will be in the Hoop group on Facebook, and you definitely can keep in touch there. So if you're not a part of the Hoop group, definitely swing over and join up. We'd love to have you there and hanging out with us and showing off your projects and stuff. All right. So for you all, I hope you have an excellent next couple of weeks. Please be sure to show off your projects, your new babies. You have sublimation machines and crickets and such. Show off your projects. I want to see them. It's going to be fun to see what everybody's working on during the next couple of weeks. All right. So I appreciate you being here from the bottom of our hearts here at the Baby's Booty Studios, and we look forward to seeing you all again shortly. All right. Thanks, and have a great evening. Bye.